Hello, I'm Deborah Sword. Last week, I mentioned my conflict prime directive, which is to find and bind allies to your version of the conflict. And yes, I follow all things Star Trek. We got a comment that someone enjoyed the episode and liked the reframe of allies in a conflict because the listener had thought that telling stories was gossip. And that comment got me thinking. First, the assumption appears to be that gossip is negative. And that got me thinking about gossip's relationship to conflict, which got me thinking about the conflict competency of dealing with conflict caused by gossip. So, how is gossip different than seeking supportive allies? Well, seeking allies to your side of a conflict is looking for support, which we all seek in troubled times. Gossip is defined as casual conversation or reports about other people. Typically, it involves details that might not be true. And a gossip is the person who likes talking about people's private lives. That's fairly harmless, right? Gossip is conversation spread by people who like talking about other people. Does gossip have a negative reputation for a reason? We're storytellers by nature. From the time that our ancestors, early hominids, developed societies, they told stories. Gossip is telling stories. Gossip includes sharing news about someone among people who know each other. Gossip links people in a network of familiarity. Some positive stress, good stress, is necessary in our lives. Resilience in the face of stress is a conflict competency. But gossip isn't just one thing. It falls on a continuum, a spectrum. Social norm like storytelling at one end, benign sharing of news, almost in the middle, and at the other end, malicious intent to harm someone. And malicious gossip can lead to treating people so badly it becomes bullying or harassment. Negative, unaddressed, persistent stress is a toxic event that affects our sense of safety. And malicious gossip is poisonous. It leads to the subject of the gossip being treated badly. So, where does the gossip you share or the gossip you're being told lie on a continuum from socially normative sharing of wonderful news among friends to gossip intending to harm reputations? And if you hear a story that makes you uncomfortable, what's the conflict competent reaction? A gossip at work can create conflict among those who hear it, can lead to fear and incapacitating stress to those who are the targets of the gossip, and can put the person who starts the gossip or shares it in management's crosshairs at work. Malicious gossip that's not in an organization can cause social isolation. So, back to the original points. Allies are sought out for support. You tell your version of the conflict, hoping to be told you're correct, to be given advice or resources to cope with the conflict's consequences. So far, you're probably at the benign middle of the gossip continuum. You might also want to tell your allies your negative opinion of the other person in the conflict. That starts you moving along the gossip continuum towards malicious, and on the conflict continuum towards escalation. Gossip and conflict are completely separate and may never interact, may never impact each other. Or they can move in a feedback loop. Malicious gossip escalates conflict. Conflict escalates malicious gossip. In that case, the conflict competency is to stop the escalation of one, and reduce the heat of the other. How you do this? Self-management, self-control, owning your contribution to the gossip and to the conflict, and doing your default to curiosity, active listening, accepting that the other person might have a version that's worth hearing if you take the time to be open to that curiosity and ask your good questions. Thank you for listening. And I hope you'll subscribe to our podcast, share it, like it, leave comments, love your comments, and suggest topics. Thank you.